That when you went into the full forward line, you said, well, boys, what do you want me to do? It was the first time
Hey,
full
stop
forward.
that camera.
As long as I'm still hurling club, you'll probably be a little bit kind of going, I wonder could I... I wonder would I have 20 minutes there?
We're not going to sell any ticket for the house in Tyrone anyway.
And yourself and obviously Nicky we'd have fallen out over, sorry, we won't go into it now, but
Come on, Nick.
As good a time as any.
As I was walking over to pick up the ball, in the second row of the seats here, my mother and my father and my sister, and I could see my father just like this. And I was there going,
rang Willie Barrett, who's head of the referees committee, 8 times at half time. See, Willie Barrett met me in the Pusheen still and said, I've 8 missed calls from Willie Barrett at half time.
I remember taking a free out the sideline, I was getting a bit of abuse. Next thing I got, come on, Kilkenny, and next thing I got, meow, from one of the support.
In fairness, he won't mind me telling the story, but we were playing Leash, and I hope he does now. If he does, he can cut it out.
I know they might talk about costs, but I'd replace that word with investment, and that's what it is. So you're investing in the future, investing in the players, the current players. But even for parents now, will say,
and then the juniors do their own thing.
every team seems to get to that Junior B All-Ireland final, don't they?
Yeah.
Might hold on in the locker, lad.
Except us.
It is.
Cheers, boys.
We met John Kiley in the airport, and he was like,
They were going to New York.
They were going to New York, and he was saying to us like, oh, you won something recently, did you? And we were like, oh yeah, going on about, we were saying, going on a team holiday, the whole lot. He was like, fuck, was that senior? I was like, no, Junior B. He was like, Cashel. He said, will you be playing that tournament in Limerick? I said, no, we only won the South. He was like, for fuck's sake, 23 lads going to Portugal, we're in the Junior B South.
Alright, we're rolling, we are. Okay.
We're rolling since fucking 12 o'clock.
Boys are doing their best stuff.
Yeah.
Right, okay, here we go. Hello and welcome to Tipperary Legends Lunch, lads. Not the two of us, obviously, John, but we are joined by some proper legends.
Yes, Tipperary's finest, former Tipperary hurler, the son of God, 2010 All-Ireland winning captain from Mullinahone, Mr. Eoin Kelly.
On, Kelly, can we get a round of applause? Now, lads, the famine is over. This man won 2 All-Irelands with the county and 1 with the club, and you definitely wouldn't like to mark him. Borsley's Bobby Ryan.
Oh.
Hey, clap that.
Probably the greatest footballer the county's ever produced. He's 2 All-Stars to prove it from Mile Rovers, Declan Browne.
And Deco.
Oh, Decky boy. And the big man from Drum, 3 All-Ireland titles, 4 All-Stars, and our National League, not to mention being the 2019 Hurler of the Year, Seamus Callanan.
Well, Jamie.
Now, out of 40, who's the best?
You only forgot about the 40 goals that he scored, mate.
There was too much to write, we can't fit it on the sheet.
I scored 1 goal.
Okay, tell us about your goal.
I thought you'd never ask me.
Where was the goal?
Oh, well, I can tell you every minute. Oh, some McMahon fella was playing in goals, and there's a bit of a history beside the goal. I was dropped for the 86 or 87 championship, Babs' first year. Went to America, dropped me because he didn't want me to go. Came back, and the only place I could come play was full forward. And they put me in full forward anyway, and I wasn't really a good full forward. But I scored in the drawn game against Clare in '87. You know, when you think about when they almost lost, we very nearly came unstuck in the drawn game. But in the drawn game, I was taken off. That's how bad it was. And in the replay, Nicky, before the game, struck me with a ball in the eye in the puck round. I ended up above in John Keating was our doctor. John patched me up and he said, no, you can play. And I shouldn't have played. But I played and I couldn't see the goal. And the ball broke to me. Donny O'Connell kicked the ball in, and I ran in after about 2 minutes. And I took a big swipe at it. Half hit it. The goalie turned his arse to it, and I went, ball didn't even hit the net. Only goal I ever scored. That is a true story, though.
And I heard a story from the other side.
Well,
Fox and Nicky tell a better story. That when you went into the full forward line, you said, well, boys, what do you want me to do? It was your first time playing full forward.
Stop that camera.
What do you want me to do here for you? And the 2 boys just said, hey, Bobby, stay out of the way.
Goals. Shamey, do you have a favourite goal you ever scored?
I do, yeah. It's probably the Wexford goal in 2019. Pulled on the ball.
Oh yeah.
I was going away from the goals there, so yeah, that was a nice one. We were under a bit, it was early in the match, but we were probably under a bit of pressure.
Jeez, you were Wexford were flying that day.
Yeah, they were flying that day. That was probably the best game in 2019, I'd say, definitely. Yeah. And that was probably the one when we actually clawed it back and got over it. You were just like you were buzzing going into the All-Ireland final then for a few weeks because we were after losing a man. We had, I think it was 3 goals disallowed that day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And still came out on top, so it was unreal. Yeah.
Which is Wexford were sick after that.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity for them, and they played it unbelievable. Like,
One of the boys in our club was only telling us the other day, it was down at our draw, and they were saying that day the Tip played Wexford, they were giving out with the referee or whatever, and Dilly Whelan from Care rang Willie Barrett, who's head of the referees committee, 8 times at half time. He said Willie Barrett met me in the Pusheen still and said, I've 8 missed calls from Dilly Whelan at half time.
he obviously didn't answer him anyway. It was the same in the second half.
Dinny wouldn't be saying hello either.
No, it wasn't going to be nice. Yeah.
Owen, do you have a favourite goal?
Yeah, sure. When Seamus mentioned that one, I suppose I'd nearly go back to 08 against Cork down in Parky Keeve.
Oh yeah.
Bit like that. It was Seamus' first championship game.
Yeah, I actually hit the ball in. I was going for a pint.
Oh
and
yeah,
crossed
it is, yeah. But a bit like that, we were under pressure, and you know, we don't regularly beat Cork down in Parky Keeve. Like,
Yeah.
I'd say we hadn't in X amount of years. I don't know how long it was, but we were about 4 or 5 points down again. The ball just came in and kind of got a score or two before half time. I don't know, did we win 1 or 2 points up? But it kind of was the turn of the game. It kind of got the confidence going, and you know, instead of being 4 or 5 down, we were only I don't think we win a pint up actually, but I suppose that was the one, you know, because it kicked on a good era.
Yes.
It didn't just kick on a good season. 08 we won the Munster final and after win the league, but actually, you know, that team then got the confidence nearly from a championship win like that. Do you know what I mean? So 8, 9 and 10 were actually.
Is that the one where you shrug your man off?
Yeah.
That was it,
Yeah, Marty Morrissey's commentary is the best. Like, the goal goes in, he's like, Kelly, 1 shot, 1 goal, Tipper back in business. That always stays in me.
And that was the old Parky Queeve as well. Like the atmosphere was just in on top of you, like as well. It was unbelievable.
The Blackrock end, I think.
They'd let too many in, and they were sitting along the back.
We were actually we ran out onto the field through all the people that were in the back, like behind.
Oh, lads.
Yeah, so they had to like just move out of the way and let us through, like, which was
Actually-
creative, great.
I'd be buzzing.
Yeah.
I actually remember going out to tunnel that day. So Bobby, you remember the old tunnel park?
Yeah.
When the sport was there. Remember remember one I'd grab me up, don't let me down today. I'd say, must have had the month's wages, I'd say.
But and it could have been the same lad. He caught me up and said, I have a lot riding on this match today. And I would want to tell him, like, yes, lad, I'm fucking riding for the last 9 months for this thing. Like, you know, but like that, it could be the same fella.
They could get that near to you.
They get that near to you, yeah. But you know, and I don't know, you know, I that's what I missed most about even the modern game. I like there was that closeness with the supporters and you, like, I mean, they had awful access. They really had too much access to it. Like, but I remember playing the old Ennis Road, like, and Jesus, like them, it was awful tight, but there was something about that atmosphere, like the hair standing in the back of your head. It was real championship stuff.
You
Like
think Micheál Maher could just walk in around the dressing
Yeah.
room there, no bother at all, have a chat with all of them. Say to the manager, any changes today, like, you know, how you expect to get on, any subs coming on, new lads. That's all then just disappeared as time went on, like, don't be let near it.
But see, those games then just had everything because like you only had that opportunity.
everybody was riding on that 70 minutes.
Now there's 4 games
Yeah.
and you could go through it, you could lose 2 and still get through in third place. Or, do you know, it's different.
I don't know about you. I couldn't imagine having to play a championship match in front of a half-empty stadium. Like, I never played championship except to a full house. Sorry.
I think I played minor football in Cork in front of 12 people, I say. There's a chance.
All from Care.
Well, we can come back to that, but Declan, do you have a favourite goal you scored?
Yeah, I didn't get too ahead of a lot of them, Johnny, but against Kerry in '97, again, it was like that. It was all knockout.
Yeah.
Back then, Mark and Seamus mine, and I was only about 20, was I? 19 or 20, and stuck in the bottom corner. So that was a nice one, but ended up losing the game. Fine team, great team we had, and lost by 4 points and year gone. So that was always the biggest.
It's mad back then that you go into one game and like Bobby said, you could be training for 9 months going into it, and then that's it. So
like I've totted it up. Like I played for 12 years championship, and I have 25 championship matches. Outside. That's not counting Tommy Murphy Cup or So that's counting championship or qualifiers. Wow. So that's two a year. Like so. You know, when you look back on it, you say, yeah, it's a great career, but the amount of game time, 12, 25 matches.
Seems crazy. The lads probably get that in 2 or 3 years.
And knocked out on 6 or 7 of those by Kerry.
I always
in a knockout situation. So
I always think of Jim Keogh from the Silver Mines. No, from the Silver Mines. Jim was a regular fullback for Tip from 1974 right up to. He played in '84, I think. You know, and he was there. he never. Like, there's a horrible statistic. I know I shouldn't even be saying it on camera. But Tipperary didn't win a championship match from '83. No, from 73 to 83. That Jim Keogh has played for 10 years for Tip. He was the principal backs in his day, and he has 10 championship matches. Yeah. I don't think he might have a league medal maybe after, but that everything kind of hinges on your championship performance. Like, and that's what he got. Just you'd have played 10 championship matches in 2 seasons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But that was the usual knockout was, as you said, Bobby. Like knockout was brilliant, but back then obviously you were knocked out in May. Yeah. Then you had a strong club championship.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's all over the shop. So you knew you'd your 3 league games before Christmas. So then you had 4 National League games after Christmas, then your championship. So everything rolled into one. So when you were knocked out, and if you had a strong club, then you were going to go till September, October anyway, and then right in then to National League again.
Because you would have played through the change of when it was knockout into the round robin.
I started in '96, so the qualifiers came in 01.
Yeah.
2000 was it?
2001. Was it 2000? Yeah. 2001. I remember actually funny. So I was actually injured in 2001. That we played Kerry in the championship inside in Clonmel, and I was injured. But I said I'd throw on the shorts and the socks underneath just in case, And Tom McGlinchey was manager, so we did set up that if we were in it, we'll spring it. I wasn't named right, and it was late substitution. So it was close to half time. I said only 3 or 4 points in, so he said, right, I got the nod, just start getting ready inside. I was like the old dugouts. In behind everyone, I was getting ready, put the shots. Next minute, about 3 or 4 goals went in about 3 minutes, so back on with the shot and back into the dugout again, But that was the first time we went on to play loud in the qualifier after that. But like I said, I wouldn't change a thing, but obviously, for the weaker counties, and not saying weaker this and weaker that, but you'd like more games, and obviously now it is organised that way that you do get more games. So
your debut was a qualifier, was it? In
2000. I think that was the first year. That was the first year.
The Galway.
You
Remember
were named
the old Crow
Park.
Park.
Up against Antrim, was it? Or
no,
against Galway.
Against Galway, sorry.
Crow Park has been done up, wasn't it?
I did. Come on,
Outfield.
Scored a point, But I didn't know. Hot Pint and Nicky obviously had organised a number 16 jersey, obviously an outfield jersey. Tried the goalkeeper's jersey on me, and I remember Cummins going down the first half. He still has a scar over his eye. He got a couple of stitches. What, 7 or 8 stitches, I say, afterwards. And next thing, I went pale inside. Not a chance now. I am going to be sprung here inside in the goals. So Cummins just bandaged himself up. But come on, the second half, we were beaten. And Cork beat us in the Munster final in the same year. Remember, it was the first time kind of in a long time the Munster final had been on in Thurles, 2000. But so sometimes you're better off to be just sprung in. There was no thinking about, no nerves. No anything. Actually, it's funny. The night before, I don't know what hotel actually we were staying in, and I remember Declan was kind of had to do a fitness test. Yeah, remember that? Yeah. So Nicky just called me down. He said, "Come here, I want you to go fetch a few balls for Declan." So I was pucking the ball out to Declan, and Declan was hitting over the bar. I don't know where it was. Some college. There was no net behind the goal. I was under the ditch anyway, picking out these balls, hitting them out to Declan. Happy out, So that was it. No, he didn't make it though. He didn't make it. No, he didn't pass the fitness test.
You gave a while on the senior panel.
1999, 2000, yeah.
I always admired you as a footballer, but you were equally as good a player. Would you have made it if you had concentrated on hurling? Would you reckon?
I don't think I'd say. I know disrespect to my own club, but junior hurling is a long way from senior to county. I was
junior then.
Huh?
You were junior.
Junior, yeah. I played Forest and Nina Co-op, always on the panels. Minor All Ireland in '96, so I took off from there, and then under 21 in '99. But did I feel out of place there? I probably did. It was, I don't know. I never thought I was good enough. So you were always struggling. You were always.
That was because where you came from.
It's I'd say it's just ability. Let's be honest. And yourself and obviously Nicky we'd have fallen out over. Sorry, we won't go into it now, but.
All right.
Come on, Dave.
It's as good a time as any.
But
he loved this, man.
we started our differences anyway, but it's just. Personally, I don't think I was good enough. But maybe if you got a bit more time, a bit more game time at that level, you never know, But and then in 2000 won the All Ireland Intermediate. That was great. That was some crack. That's
being from where you're from and who you are and all. You must have been the most marked man in club football in the whole county. Like every time you went out to play us, I know the whole of Clare was like.
I know we had a plan. We had a plan last time. So
Kill
it
Declan
often
Browne,
got a
lad.
plan.
You must have got some treatment over the years, did you?
Back then, see, again, it was pre-structure, pre-game management, everything. Like it was just 15 or 15 goals.
Yeah.
And then, you might play a man in front. Shame, you'd the same as well.
Yeah.
One in front and one behind. But we had a plan ourselves. That's the way I was looking at the club.
Yeah.
So if you were lads kicking it in and where you want to go, we were always able to handle. Like we had a great 6 year. Like we won 5 counties in 6 years. It was and probably should have won. One once the club got caught in a replayed final, but it's.
It never bothered you anyway.
No, but they were more freer times. Like it was.
No sweet.
Yeah, there was, but like it wouldn't be all and end all. It was and the cornerback. If you play in the cornerback and you beat him, he gets the curly finger, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Whereas now you have 5-4 backs in front of the forward, so you don't have to defend.
Yeah.
But
And you must have had that as well, like being playing hurling in South Tip and being Tip captain or being the most famous hurler in the county at the time. Like you definitely got some treatment off the Swan boys anyway.
Poor Eoin would never give it back.
Look, it's interesting when you hear, because I remember Declan's my Rovers team, like, and you had Derry Foley's and John Owens. You had physical men around too, didn't you? Like I suppose even more known when I was starting. John Lahey was still playing. Even his brother Noel was a very physical player.
John would have took a bit of heat
Brian
off you,
O'Mara,
probably,
like we had a good team, I suppose. We're blessed having a good team. So maybe you don't get as much focused in attention when you have a good team. Like
So many good players.
we were lucky enough to win the county championship then in 2002, and we put a couple of South titles back to back, which is look like it's hard enough to win any championship, and put them back to back then probably just tells you that you are part of a good team and that, But
You had your brother beside you.
yeah, sure, he used to be wing back, like So yeah, we had a good team, yeah. But you would look, the club rivalry as well has changed as well, like. Do you know what I mean? Like it was, like I remember the crowds that used to be at the games. Like you'd even hear the stories now down the local of maybe guys would be passing, might be the Ballingarry that's passing, they pull into the local. We'll have 500 on our team at the weekend, like. Do you know what I mean? Match that, lads. That bit of fun, that bit of banter, that was all there. That seems to be kind of gone, like. It's a pity, really. Sometimes the divisional championships now, they're second fiddle, really. They're playing second fiddle to the county championship. So, they were, I remember going into Clonmel, you'd have the 2 semi-finals on. You might have 4 teams in the South Championship, and the banks would be thronged. And the used to be coming in and coming out. But like, when you think of it, like, it was, that's what it was. It was club rivalry. It was bragging rights, wasn't it, for your parish or the neighbouring parish, whoever won it.
Do you say after you win in All Ireland, and then very quickly, some years you'd have to turn around. It could be 4 or 5 days later, you're back in club action.
Yeah, we lost the All Ireland in 11, and I remember we played Carrickswan in the South semi-final a week
I remember
after.
because we had a junior match. We were on before you. I remember talking to you that day.
Yeah, so I remember taking a free out near the sideline. Actually, it was right tit for tat battle. Actually, I remember taking a free out the sideline. I was getting a bit of abuse. And next thing I got, come on, Kilkenny, like, and next thing I got, meow, from one of the supporters. So that was a week after losing All Ireland, so you can tell you how your head to be after that. Like, but look, do you know, we end up winning the game afterwards. What's that?
A week later, you get the
look, it comes with the hurt, and that it. Like, you wouldn't want it any other way, really.
Yeah.
How much attention do you pay to the crowd in games? Because
can you hear them?
Like you mentioned there, when you're running out in Park of People, some lad grabs you, they can get that close to you and the whole lot. Like I look, playing club games, I lose the head, because at club games you can hear people, definitely. But like if you're in the heat of battle in Park Queeve, or you're in Thurles, places full, how much are you listening to that? I know at times it probably drive you on.
The big days you wouldn't hear anything.
No, Crow Park you wouldn't hear anything now, but other stadiums now around you would definitely. You'd hear, especially if things aren't going great on the field. Things are a bit quieter. But you wouldn't when the tip chant is going and when the supporters are in behind you, you'd never hear a word like. But yeah, sometimes there, if it's not going well for you, and there's a bit of a lull in the game, you definitely hear the odd bit, like, But then, of course, you're just trying to just give me the next one, and you might be giving a little fist pump. Here's the answer to it, but
Bobby,
definitely Crow Park you wouldn't.
Do you ever pay much heed to the crowd?
No, the boys are spot on. For the big games like in Thurles or Páirc Uí Chaoimh, you just wouldn't hear it. But I just smiled at myself there. A very funny incident happened with us after '87. After winning the Munster final, like the county was buzzing, like you see. And there was a match where Boris were playing Toom and Nina, and it might have been only a week after the Munster final, but anyway, I was going over the ball and I cleared the ball, and Mick Bruslan was on the sideline. I can see, as clear as day, I could see, "Kill the bastard." and I could hear somebody saying beside him, "For God's sake, what about that Sunday?" And I could hear Bruslan, because you'd hear him anyway. You see. Mick said, "You're wearing a different jersey today." And I could only just smile to myself, because that was, you were talking there a few minutes ago about the rivalry between different clubs, but Boris and Toom, or Boris nearly at anybody, Boris and Drummer, but particularly Boris and Toom, like, it was savage, it really was. But that's one I'd always remember. He wasn't spared, but I remember listening to the catcalls which you guys taking, which I have to say is, the free taking is something else, because you have to be so consistent, and you're missing the free. And he said, you'll hear your own supporters say, "Yeah, you did it last Sunday," and you'd love to say that, like, I want to do it every Sunday. Like Michael Cleary used to say to me about the free taking. I have a huge admiration for guys that take frees, because, like, you want a fair pair of balls to stand over. Especially now, in the heat of battle. But Skippy used to say that post gets awful narrow when the pressure is on, and it must do,
What's it like that in the last minute? Because, like, when you're a young lad and you're out in the backyard and you're always thinking, like, oh, it's the last minute in All-Ireland final, you'll be going through it in your head and the whole lot. But when something like that happens, like when you have to come up, a couple of minutes left in the Munster final or a tie championship game, and you're the one standing over it, like, say, like, you've all taken frees, like, what's that like? It must be, I'd be sick. I'm sick thinking about it.
Yeah, you can talk about it there, but I can't remember it really happening in your career. That last free, we'll say, in a high chance. You can be lucky and unlucky maybe with it. But just to tell you where it is, I know in the 2014 All-Ireland final, we'll say Bubbles is Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Like, if I got €1 for every time someone says to me, "Why didn't you take the free?" I'd be a wealthy man. But I actually came on the sub that day, and I didn't even know what stage of the game it was. I remember saying to Jackie Taylor, "What's left?" And he said, "Obviously about 3 or 4 minutes." So ball went way wide, Hawkeye, puck out, game over. So sometimes you don't even kind of know what's left in the game, like, and you're not at that stage going to go looking to the ref, well, what's left for him to say, last puck. You know what I mean? So
but more often than not, you've no fear of missing.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. That's your job as a free taker. So whether it's first or like, I always say, like, in club level, just you're not taking the next one. He missed 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I'd stay stepping up. And if you miss 10, maybe that's stubbornness.
But you would say you're a free taker, it's your job.
Well, that's it, bar you're told from the sideline that often not, there's times you go against him. But if you don't have that fear of missing, it's the fear of missing that is the most thing I feel.
Do you enjoy taking frees?
Yeah, I enjoy taking them, yeah, absolutely. You kind of, I like that bit of responsibility that someone's backing you to do something, do you know. But it just kind of funny there, like, we played Burris last year. The two clubs weren't going great, and we got ourselves into a match over in Holy Cross, and it was a relegation, to see who would go into the relegation fight anyway. So Burris were hammering us anyway. We came back, and it was a draw game, and they'd say there was 2 minutes to go, and I got a free, and it was right over in front of the stand in Holy Cross, around the 65. It's difficult enough free now, right? But I was sitting in mud all day, and I was walking over to take the free, and you'd be kind of zoning in on, okay, what's your protocol here for the free, like, and trying to do everything right. And as I was walking over to pick up the ball, the second row of the seats here, my mother and my father and my sister, and I could see my father just like this. And I was there going, sound. Everything in my head of trying to be cool and trying to be able to just completely gone out the window anyway. And it went over the bar, thank God. And I just remember walking away from hitting the free going, well, thank God. It was just, it was a level like last.
No, you struck him well all day. I was at the match.
And it was going well and all that, so I was confident going taking it. But just when I caught him in the corner of my eye, and I was going, oh.
And that could be enough to throw that.
And when it went over, I said to myself, that was the hardest free I'd ever hit.
But as you get older, it does, it does become more challenging, doesn't it?
I would say that, and I definitely, it's a confidence thing, because I remember we played a drawing game in Killarney, and Fox was taking the frees, and Fox wasn't our natural free taker, but we won a free to level the game. Now a free to win a game is a completely different free. But we had a free to level the game. And it was shit or bust, like. But I remember it wasn't a real easy free. It wasn't a hard free, but I still had to go over the bar. But I remember Fox anyway. There was no, the heavy breathing that Joseph Cannon were doing. He just put it, and he turned back to me and said, "This is it." He had the ball struck over the bar before he ever struck it. And I turned away. I said, "Well, the right man has it," because he was
full
He
shape.
was in his own, like, that was
He
it.
was in that zone.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
never doubted himself. But I don't think, in fairness to Fox, he never did. Like,
They call that now visualizations.
Yeah.
Putting this over.
Did the workshops on then now, the whole lot, they'd be sitting in, you'd be zoned in the whole lot.
But lads, I tell you, it's one thing to win a free, but like we had a guy played with Bursley for years and years, and all his wire, and I probably owe him everything that I won at club level. And we were playing a club championship match, club final down in Limerick, and Johnny Callanan fouled me. And bear in mind now, this is before Christmas, a wet, dirty ball into the wind. I remember Johnny pulled late on me, and I was down, I was kind of getting my breath, and I had the ball in my hand, and the wire had the habit of walking up to take the free, stroke back the hair. And I threw the ball at him and said, make sure it is now, no, like that, you see. And what do you think I'm going to fucking do? And he shoved out his big arse to me, and he bent over. Lads, I was looking at this. It was like a shot out of a gun. 18, 90 yards, straight, no waver on the ball. And the old ball was one of these newer balls against maybe a wet day. What do you think I'm going? That's balls, that's confidence.
Did you ever have pre-game rituals then? Owen?
You kind of would, I suppose. I probably had habits of maybe changing the grip, like, you know. And
Every
that was-
game?
Yeah, you probably would, yeah, just putting a new grip on it. Do you know what it was too? Sometimes to kill time.
Yeah.
You know, because you're in the dressing room, and the worst thing is being in the dressing room too early. You know, if you get your timing wrong, like, and you're in the dressing room for 50 minutes or 55 minutes, lads looking at one another. Yeah. That's the worst thing, like. So you'd kind of have maybe a few routines you do, like, nothing major. Like, I wasn't that superstitious with things like that. But some players can be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you have any, Declan?
No, same as that. I similar to Bobby's time. Like we turned up half an hour before Munster Championship match. Tug out, stretch, the warm up. That's it. Kick a few points. That was it. Whereas now it's 2 hours. 2 hours. You're meeting in a hotel 3 hours before the match. Like, so it's a long time to be thinking. But like back then it was just rock on with the gear and
Away you go.
play Perry. You know, that's the. It was a lot to be said for that.
No, but the funny thing is, it was the ritual the night before was our problem.
What rituals did you have the night before? And how many of them did you have?
It was extraordinary what was going on. You think it was 100 years ago. But
Yeah, sound fair
He
enough.
had no trouble with grips on it, but he didn't have them.
we had we used to have 2 pints before every match. The
night before the match?
The night before the match, and the team meeting was organised to suit us to get out for the few pints, right?
Before Munster Championship.
Before every match, All Ireland final.
Thank you very much.
But and Dr. Liam Hennessy, we called him. We give him his full title. He used to go ballistic over this. He said, and Barrett had Tommy Barrett, our secretary. You know, leave him alone. Every lad should. Barrett was so mean. He didn't want to leave the cup the night before. Lads, he reckoned should sleep in their own beds. but anyway, Hennessy was going mad over this thing. These couple of pints, and I said, like, you know, go out and if you want to meet the crowd. We're talking about the interaction with the sport. You went out to a local pub, wherever to be, and it was always Paul Delaney, myself, Tony O'Connell, and there was one other lad. And we used to have we'd have our 2 pints. That's all we had, genuinely. We were home in bed. Now, Nicky and Fox never came out, or Cleary, they were at home playing pool. But the truth of it was, that was why I was trying to explain to Hennessy, but Sylvie and Conor Hayes, they were below another pub doing the same thing. Yeah. That was the culture. That's all we did.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how good we'd have been if we all stayed at home? You know?
No, but you didn't think it really mattered, like, did it?
I would have argued that case, but looking at the way the science has gone and evolved and everything, I'm sure the 2 pints to do minutes. Hennessy said, putting 2 pints of porter into your system. He was big into hydrating, but hydrating with water, like, you know. That was our ritual, I mentioned. But now we were in bed for 11 o'clock, and our theory was if you had a couple of pints, you'd probably sleep a bit better.
Yeah, kill the nerves.
Anyway, that was it.
It's gone the whole other end of it now. Like,
Other end,
in terms of like you're pretty much off it all the time, like, until you're out of championship. Like.
You wouldn't be eating burgers and chips? No.
And the
It's easier
morning
to
of the
side of
match,
it now.
you'd be having the big fry up. Like. I'm sure there's no big fries up now the morning of the match.
No. But like, I don't know. I look at it there and say there's not enough time for people to actually get to know each other currently, because lads are going into training 4 or 5 nights a week, and they're rushing in from work. They're trying to get home then because they could be travelling back to Dublin or Limerick or wherever they are. So they're not actually getting quality time. You're meeting each other 5 nights a week, but you're not actually having an hour there to have a chat.
Feels like you don't even know each other.
What do you do for a living? What's going on? What's the crack? You know, you don't know much about people.
The way the championship is structured in as well. You play on the Sunday, tough battle into the bus, maybe to a pool recovery and home like.
Yeah.
Whereas before, at least you play on the Sunday, and do you know if you had a bad day at the office, like you'd meet up on the Monday. That was nearly your therapy on the Monday because when you'd walk into the boys, you get slagged straight away. Next thing, the goal you're after missing or the free you're after missing the day before, that was the topic of conversation. Next thing you tip up to the bar or someone up beside you, geez, what happened to you yesterday? You know, you chat it out. You'd actually get it off your chest.
You processed it all
Get it
out.
off your chest. You would like.
And after a few more points, the boys wouldn't be sparing you.
Oh, they wouldn't be sparing
you.
you.
They wouldn't be sparing you for the right reasons.
No,
like, you know, like, and that is so true. Like, I mean, it was a bit of a debrief, but it was done in a
100%,
more relaxed.
Yeah.
And then we were left. Now obviously I'm a different generation to you guys, but our generation, we were left alone. Like, lads respected us. They respected our privacy after match. It was lovely, really.
So you didn't have people coming up to you?
No, we'd be in the jockey there, and there could be 4 or 5 of us there, and we'd be having a few pints, and it'd be grand. And lads might come in to say how many lads had well done yesterday or a hard look yesterday, but they'd flip off themselves. You know, but there was no such thing as, you know, you get the odd arsehole, maybe he'd come up, but by and large you were left alone. Like, you know.
Like even the best days after the couple of All-Irelands was maybe the Tuesday.
Yeah. When you get
because the Sunday,
settle down, like,
when you settle down and everyone would be together, then the players. Yeah. You know, after being together all year, like we'll say, and putting in the work, like then you'd actually chat away about the year, chat away about the day, the match. Whereas Sunday night, even the home on the Monday.
Fucking busy, like.
Yeah, you know what I mean, you're busy.
Here, but dig in, boys, anyway.
But we great. Do you know what I'm saying? Getting to know each other. Like 2019, we went up and we were training hard for a couple of months, but then we went up to Abbottstown for training. We trained like animals there on the Friday, and then we got to go out for a few pints on the Friday night. And there was those young lads after coming in because they're after winning the under 20, under 21. Yeah. And I remember the first Sheedy had set up in Foley's bar, I think it was, upstairs, that we'd have a karaoke machine. So everyone had to sing. So you'd have I was the captain, so I had to go first basically, and then there was a list of who had to come next and whatever. And there was lads there that were afraid to open their mouth in the dressing room for the 2 months previous to training, and all of a sudden they just came into their own. You know, they had a few pints in them, went up along, sang their song, and all of a sudden the crack and the banter you have then for the next few months off the back of something like that, you know.
But it must be fair important for new lads coming in on the panel like that, to get to know the older lads who were around a few years and stuff like that.
Definitely,
And then, sure, when it comes to the heat of battle, you're going to want to know that, like, we're friends behind it all. We're not just teammates.
Yeah.
If you look at the club level, even they come tugged out.
Yeah.
They don't shower and go away again, so you don't actually meet.
I think COVID changed that.
Yeah,
though.
there's no
Because
conversation.
you got used
The
to that
actual
dressing
dressing room's
room.
nearly gone.
Yeah, it is nearly gone.
It's gone, like,
Yeah.
there's
Heard anyone showering?
There's nothing there, like.
No, lads just
You
go
know.
home and
Yeah.
So that even that
smell out
alone.
the car.
Some lads before they come train.
No. True. Just the mobile phones, you were really playing in the era of the mobile phones and the selfies, like. Did that change things?
Yeah, well, I'd say it definitely changed the nights out in here.
Yeah,
but,
honestly, yeah.
Yeah, but like look, we've had great times and all that, but I definitely would go back to probably the first 5 years, I say, when I was on the panel, when things were different and you could go out and you could socialise more and all that kind of stuff. I think they were probably, looking back on my own thing, they might have been the best years, because it's just you were getting to know people, and I suppose you're young and you're meeting the likes of Eoin or Larry and all these lads that were there, like, and things were kind of nearly more relaxed. Nobody was on edge going out. Do you know? You can go. It's not that we were getting bombarded, you know what I mean? But you just.
What gelled our team together around that 08, 09, 10 season was the training camp. We went to Villamora, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we won the league final, beat Galway on the Sunday. Now, to get a bit of silverware, first time Tipperary won the league since 2001, so a bit like you were talking about the drought in Tipperary hurling. You know, we were going to get a bit of silverware, so a young squad, we went to Villamora training camp for the week. So Friday then we were the usual, you know what I mean? It was negotiated that we were let out, like, but that was fine. I think it was a rollover into Saturday is what actually made the team.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Because I'd say Sheedy came back and he was looking around and there was lads absent, left, right, centre, like. And there was lads coming in and going out, but it actually really bonded the whole team together. So we were talking about that and laughing about that and telling the stories for the next two or 3 months in the dressing room.
Who does the negotiate? Who goes to Sheedy, and what way does the negotiating go?
I'd say there was no negotiating that time, I'd say. think that's where the breakdown fell down.
That was good. That was the good part of it. You didn't have
yeah.
to, you see, because you were like school. You were back in school. You see, you were kind of mitching. That's where the buzz was.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
had it in 02. We got to the Munster final with the draw again against
Yeah.
Cork. So on the back we kind of a training camp in Lanzarote the week or the year after, and Tom McGlinchey was manager again. So again like that, who can we go down to see the old town or the new town, Tom? Just no, just for an hour or two, Tom. Yeah. A week solid. Like I don't drink now, but a week solid of drink. Like. Every night. Now the boys trained diligently twice a day, and it was unbelievable. But it was the whole week of drink. And to this day, Declan Fanny, Dec was on it that year as well. It was the best week of everyone's life.
Yeah.
You know, and it came back then the following. Came back on a Friday, played Longford in the National League in Nina on the Sunday, and got absolutely hammered. Everyone's worried.
Where did it go wrong?
What was happening? Where was the
You had
money
nice
going?
hands.
Oh, everything. They weren't out too much. But it was just some week. It was just
I
incredible.
can still remember Larry getting on the bus. He was one of the last to get on the bus, like,
John, was it?
and there was a couple of us, and he just said, "Show no emotion."
Everyone else had been loaded up into the bus there about an hour, and they were going, "Where are the boys?" And all of a sudden, two boys got on. Larry turned around to one of the boys, "Show no emotion."
Walked on, sat down.
She did the top of the bus there, "Show no emotion."
But that gelled the team together. If you ask me, that was one of the, But
Do you remember speeches, like dressing room speeches? Any that stand out to you?
No, I'd no disrespect, but you're in your own zone, and you know what you have to do. I always like, and there's someone talking really. That's the way I'd always. Like Seamus McCarthy of old probably would give a great speech, old school. You know, you're ready to go outside, but just it's not being any way ignorant or disrespectful to anyone, but it's just I always knew what I had to do myself, and it didn't need to be told. And some things can be long-winded; they just keep going on and on and on. And the short and sweet ones were always the best. Just get out and go.
I remember. Do you remember we got beat by Cork below in 2010? First round of the championship, we were well beaten, and Sheedy gave a speech. It was actually after the match, and what he said was, obviously we went on to win the All Ireland, but he just said he mentioned the Green Day song. He said, "Wake me up when September ends," and that was the way. That's what he said inside the dressing room. Like basically that the year wasn't over. There's still loads to play for, and you wake me up when September ends. That's what he said.
Yes.
That's a good like.
But lucky enough, we had the second chance. Whereas
Yeah.
Bobby's era, it was 6 months, 9 months to listen to lads slating and giving out and saying this.
Oh, and do you remember any halftime speeches now, or the chips were down?
Jeez, I'm trying to think now. Nothing.
Does it work like?
Well, see, like, I suppose as my career went on, half time it was nearly all stats and data, wasn't it? Like, so half time was nearly your 15-minute slot. It was in relax for 3 or 4 minutes. Then maybe you went through you analysed the first half, tackles, shots, all this. Like, so the thing had completely changed, and then maybe the last minute or two, Liam Sheedy might take the floor, and that'd be it. And I suppose, look, it was just the usual. It was nearly, look, all the work we've done. Here's a chance to go out and perform now and show it. But I don't think anything.
Less roaring and shouting like.
Yeah.
More constructive.
Yeah.
There's still loads of roaring and shouting in our club anyway. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
The Babs' speech though, in Cork one year with Joe Hayes.
Joe Hayes, that's the best story I ever heard.
You know that one?
Go on, tell it anyway. Go on.
I mightn't have the year right, but I can remember exactly where I was sitting. We were being well beaten at half time, and we could hear the crowd baying overhead, and Babs was rubbing the belly. He says, "Lads, I think we're in trouble here." He says, "We're not going to, if we get to playing where we're playing, words to that effect." He says, "What do you think?" And Joe had a bee in his bonnet, because Joe was a soap, you see. And Joe agreed, "I'd say you're dead right, Babs." You'll remember that one, right?
And did the whole dressing room then just up laughing?
Oh, you see, this is the trouble.
All right,
see,
okay.
You're talking one Munster championship. The shit is hitting the fan, and Joe is still griping that he's not picked.
Okay.
But on Joe, now, you talk about, in fairness, he won't mind me telling the story, but we were playing Leash, and I hope he doesn't. If he does, he can cut it out. But we were playing Leash one day inside, and it was pissing rain, and Colin Bonner was playing, and Colin pulled the hamstring in the warm-up. And Babs says, "Joe, you're starting." And Joe looked at him. Now, oh yeah, he was going to be marking Niall Rigney. You know, that would be the same as marking, you know, fucking Zidane. Like, you didn't want to know about it. Like, marking Niall Rigney down in Red Downey, you didn't want to know about it. Like, tight pitch, wet. And Joe turned to Bab and he says, I know Muck Trotter, he says.
I know Muck Trotter.
Yeah. But anyway, how do you come back from that one? But they played him anyway. But now Jesus was more. I know Muck Trotter. Sorry, Joe, I shouldn't tell that story much. But there were funny times, like, but there are funny incidents that happened in dressing rooms. You know.
Would you come across much trash talking, as they'd call it?
In fairness, in the early years, there might have been. I want to be careful what I say. In the early years, lads went on about, in our day we did this, in our day, like, young lads don't want to hear that shit, like, you know. But no,
But even on the pitch from the opposition.
Oh no, we didn't get that much of that. I'd say he got a lot.
They just flaked each other.
Split each other open.
At club level now, it was funny. We played in Cloughjordan, and if you knew the pitch in Cloughjordan, the dressing room is a partition, you see. Yeah. And Portrue, we're playing Portrue, and one of our guys had the brains to say, lads, these guys shouldn't be allowed hurling on a Sunday. And the guys could hear him, they thought they went out and bit the shit out of us. They needed no motivation. So, you talk about trash talk, I just was not to that now. I mean, lads wouldn't have the brains to say, no, we go, we'd show a bit of respect to these fellas. Can you imagine listening next door and telling you these lads shouldn't be hurling on a Sunday? Or their number one sport is water. You know. Water sports. I know the poor lads wouldn't like us to remind of that. You can cut all that out. Like, I have me burger eating, I don't care.
Oh, do you remember any? You surely got a bit now.
Not really, no.
Jesse went looking for that. Come on now.
You nearly got it off your own in training.
I don't think the inter-county game had that when we were like. She had the cameras everywhere then as well now. No, they couldn't hone in and hear what you're saying, like, but sure, all that kind of off the ball stuff kind of went. You know, as more before there was one camera, I'd say, at the matches. Now there was 101 cameras. I never had any hassle. And even the great teams, you look at the likes of Kilkenny and those guys who we had the battles with, it'd be fair hard and it'd be fair tough.
They
like,
just heard it, that was it.
There was no mouthing like.
Did you ever get sent off?
No.
Owen?
Did. Club mate of yours. Andy Maloney sent me off.
In club hurling?
That's why when I seen your recent sketch,
Must have been bad.
What?
Must have been bad if that's it.
2 yellows, he was nice.
2 yellows doesn't count, right?
What?
2 yellows doesn't count.
South minor semi-final against Ballingarry, yeah.
Ballingarry would bring it out here.
I know. A mistimed stroke, I think. It's what the referee put it down as.
And he said to us, some fella absolutely poleaxed the fella, and he goes, I pulled on the ball, and then he said, why didn't you hit it? Jamie, did you ever get sent off?
I got sent off once, but I got rescinded and played against Offaly in a league match down in Tullamore. I got sent off after about 10 minutes, but gave 2 nights above in Croke Park, then pleading your case, and we played Waterford in the league semi-final on the Sunday, and I was back for that. So
what match were we sent off in the Offaly league match? No,
it was a quarter-final against Offaly, and just kind of bit of pulling and dragging, and I kind of gave a bit of an elbow back maybe, but the hurley kind of looked like it went back as well. And, but the cameraman wasn't. You
can tell it now. Like.
The cameraman wasn't great, so it wasn't perfect on it. So I got away with it. But they put you through the middle, so they do.
Yeah.
I went up on the Tuesday up to Croke Park. I was there till about, I'd say it was there till 12 o'clock at night.
Cheers.
And they shot it down anyway, and then back up again on the Friday night. We were there till nearly, again, probably wasn't back home in the rag till probably 2 o'clock in the morning. Wow. And eventually they throw it out, like, but yeah, it's a tough thing to get off now. Yeah. You know, they're just kind of, it's nearly an endurance test.
Why would you just take the?
Because I was wronged.
I wouldn't lose a night home. I wouldn't make that much of them.
But if you got another sending off during the year,
you're in trouble,
your suspension was doubled.
Oh, right.
So if it happened later on in the year, you know, you would have missed 2 matches.
Okay.
You know,
that still happens now, doesn't it? Like,
yeah.
Did you ever get sent off, Bobby?
No, I should have probably been set off a few times, but I never was. But I'd say I was lucky.
Never got caught.
Tom Moss, the referee.
There was some great. We had. Look, there's no doubt about it. Like, I mean, I never saw a referee to change his mind ever. And like Babs was a rogue and a half. You said if you hit a lad of bad, see, if you're going to give away a free, make sure he earns the free. But make sure your other arm is around Jesus. Sorry about that, Johnny. I got away with it. But no, I never got sent off. I should have been sent off a few times. Things went over the edge a few times, but I got away with it. But anyway.
See, referees, when you were playing in the club matches, were afraid to send you off because you'd missed the championship game with Tip.
Oh, that carried over, yeah.
Wasn't there something? Was that there? It was, yeah.
Used to get
No, it
weeks.
counted,
Yeah, get weeks, yeah.
But that would have been in your. You would have played through that as well if it was a.
Yeah.
If it went over maybe a 1 month suspension, it counted then as it was relevant then for the county then after.
But lads, I have to say, back in the 80s, you'd have to do some damage to get sent off in the club match. And I saw some. You're talking about Ken McCasey stuff. I mean, I saw some serious stuff going on off the ball and stuff. Like just let them at it and they bait themselves out, and then the next thing the ball just went off to go again. And
That's what lads wanted. Why they paid the €10 one in or whatever it was.
The only that I ever saw to get sent off in the wrong was Mick Ryan. Mick Ryan from Palace. He played cornerback for Boris. He was a fine cornerback, but he. Maybe a few weeks before that, he was on the tip panel, and Jerry Long was driving, and we went into a pub after, and we played a game of pool, and he won the game of pool. Jerry Long potted the black by a mistake, and Mick took the money off him. And Jerry Long was refereeing the match the following Sunday, and he sent Mick off. I always reckon because he potted the black. But I always think of it, but no, I saw some serious lads getting haymakers like off the ball and punching, but it was dog eat dog now. I met a fella recently, Pat Heffernan from Limerick, gas man.
Beefy.
Yeah. And I gave Beefy the finest sog in the jaw he ever got. He pulled late or early on John Kennedy, and he remembered as well as me, there was a right schmozzle in the square, and I had a loose hand. And I saw what happened, and I came powering in by him, banging, making him there, and I rattled him by. He was taken off. But Liz Howard rang me the following day. He said, "Did you really hit Pat Heffernan?" I said, "I did. Why?" I said, "But you probably hadn't how nobody else saw it." He said, "You saw it." I said, "But two umpires saw it as plain as day." But he deserved it. It was a kind of he deserved it. Now I'd say I get 6 months. Didn't I meet him with Larry Mackey's before the last one of the matches? A character. Jay-Z says, "You taught me the greatest lesson of all times." And I remember him. I remember him saying, "Well, you shouldn't have." He went to try and break John Kennedy's leg. So, but I should have walked that day, straight up.
But there are no hard feelings.
No hard feelings. And I say after the match we could have met. Jeez, the lads,
We're not going to sell any ticket for the house in Tyrone anyway.
When you finish playing with Tip, what's it like going to games? Like when you're not involved anymore? Like it must be. Is it hard? Is it easy? Is it like grand no bother? I'm glad I'm out, or is it like Jesus?
Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy. You know, no, everyone's probably different. Like you nearly find yourself. I did anyway. Just you're staying quiet at the match, like you know, because you do know what it's like to be 69 minutes on the clock and you're going for a ball and you fall over. Like you know what I mean? Your tongue is hanging out and the supporter behind you. Oh, he's used to take him off, but you know the intensity of it. Like and it's impossible. But just you get used to it then, like you know. But I suppose the first year or two you're kind of wondering, just could you be still out there and this and that, you know? But you quickly realise then that the game is moving faster than you thought. Moving faster. My legs were moving anyway. I'm sure, but
Shane,
you would miss it,
So last year like would have been my first year out of it, like, and I suppose look, it didn't go great for Tip last year, but it was a hard watch. Like I just felt I really enjoyed actually the Waterford match. The Drone game down in Waterford.
Down there,
because we went down, a few of us there, and we went up to Mount Sion Clubhouse first, right crack out the back. Did a DJ going out the back, and you met a few lads there. Like I was chatting to Ken McGrath for ages, and Owen Kelly was there, and a few lads. Like it was great to meet them. And my first time being able to kind of soak in the atmosphere of just being around game day, like you know. But I just found it hard now the two matches in Thurles there, the Clare match and the Cork match, because it was just going wrong on the field for Tip and. I just know what it's like to be in that position. That you can't stem that tide when a team gets a run, like, and you just, you're hard to go out for the lads that are on the field at the time because I'm still very closely connected to them because I was only my first year out. You know what I mean? So, and then you have the people that are in the stand that are just giving abuse and they're all around you, and you're sitting there going, you'd love to tell them like, you know, but you just have to zip it and take it, like, you know. But I found that really difficult now last year, especially the two matches in Thurles. just because I suppose emotional connection to Tip and to the players that are on the field, and just knowing like when things are going wrong, it's very hard to stop it. And people will say like, oh well, they went on, they got bet by whatever. But it's game of hurling that's so fast. A 4 point, if you're down by 4 points, it can turn into 10 very quickly.
Yeah.
So and I found it very difficult, to be honest with you, and found the routine of actually not being in there. Because for the last
Must be strange to have so much time back, like.
Well, for 16 years, you knew where you were, and you were in the gym on a Monday, you were in the field Tuesday, gym on a Wednesday, field Thursday, and then either a Saturday or Sunday. You knew those days what you were doing every evening, and your whole day is geared towards that. Whether it's packing the lunch to go to work or whatever it is, your whole day is leading towards eventually being there that evening with all the lads, like. And that was just a vibe. Then you're going off. Like, sure, you're spoiled, right? Really. You're after trying to find a gym. Oh God, yeah, and then you have to get, I know a program. What did I do? Because someone was standing over you for the last 10 years saying, lift that, now lift it a bit heavier, now do this next thing. And you go into a gym there after doing the gym for 14, 15 years, and you're actually going, what do I do inside this place? It's that type of thing, like, so definitely was difficult change. Now I feel fine now, we'll say, but then look, the championship matches, like as long as I'm still hurling club, you'll probably be a little bit kind of going, I wonder could I? I wonder would I have 20 minutes there? You know, that kind of way.
Jamie, I still wonder that.
But anyway, I didn't have it in my last year, so I'm not going to be getting it 2 years later. So.
Bobby?
Yeah, I missed it. I missed the train. I never liked train. I love the matches, but I loved the
You weren't a muck trotter.
No, but I did love the organisation of the Tuesdays and the Thursdays, and I loved the weekends away, and I loved the Monday after a match, and I loved all that. That was all part of it. And but I did miss it. I missed it for the first couple of years. I remember getting quite emotional standing for a national anthem. The first year, that not for league, I never really minded about the league. Fox used to say league. I think we only won league championship or league medal, but I missed the championship. I remember standing up and the tears actually came. Like I welled up, big tough man. Like I couldn't believe it. Eamon Cochran was wearing number 7. I always considered number 7 was my jersey. Even though I played centre back and wing back, but number 7. And I remember looking at. He's a fine player, like, and I admired him a lot, like. But I said, yes, I was wishing him well, and but I did miss that
being part of it.
That being part of it. I think that's the thing, and we should be all big enough and men enough to admit that, like, being on a tip team or being on any team is important, but like to play at the highest level with quality players and the fun that it brought. Like, I found it very hard. I loved my work, and I enjoyed having the free time, but. By God, when the Sunday came for the big match, I actually found it hard to go to matches.
It was just like trying to replace that feeling of the bus going from the horse and jockey into the stadium or something, and just as soon as you hit the town and all the supporters either side, like trying to, and you don't really value it at a time, and now you just say, God, I just love to experience that one more time. Just the feeling that gives you, like they're all there to watch what you're doing.
The match day on the field seems to be everything, but like I miss the crack and everything. Like the games are the games. That's what we're there to do. But the friendships you have, like, and you don't belong, or falling out with people, not falling, but losing touch with people. And we said earlier on, like it's just that was incredible. Like the friends you had and the teammates you had, and go out and flog the head of each other in the club levels and club matches and back at it again. But
you're not used to ringing a lad being like, hey, do you want to meet up Tuesday night?
Yeah.
You go from being part of a real gang to being totally out of it.
And you'd be carried over, you're probably driving 4 or 5 lads in the crack and the banter was there. But like for me, I was starting to get a lot of injuries, so it was it was kind of an easy enough decision. I was only 29, like, so probably had a couple more years, but just the injuries were piling up. And
we were 29?
Yeah, and we weren't going well, like, either. Yeah. So that kind of played into.
But Declan, I think, and something that we didn't touch on today, when the fun goes out of something, then that's the difference. Like, I mean, we're all talking about the banter and everything, and that's what kept it all together for us anyway. We had a hardcore bunch of lads that you die in your back for. Like, and Seamus, you mentioned earlier, like, you knew everything about their mother, their father. They knew if there was somebody sick in the family. You knew
there was family connections.
And that's the thing. But I always said about Babs, in fairness to Babs, his first term in charge was, obviously more successful, a lot more. But I was lucky enough or unlucky enough to be experienced Tip in the early 80s when there was no fun. It was misery. Like, we were being hammered, and the supporters were on the back. And he brought that bit of freshness into the thing, and he brought that bit of buzz and a bit of Callanan as well, and that was all, and he encouraged that, like, and that's what I love, because we were a hard bunch to manage, like,
And like, why was there no fun, Bobby? Was
Sure,
it
that
not
was
getting the
the thing.
support from?
Do you know, fun. Babs always said to us, like, you know, I suppose it's true in lots of, like, but like success breeds success. Like, a habit is it can become losing can become a habit, and so can winning. And I found myself in situations where I had so much confidence in Big Bonner in front of me, or Nicky, or Michael Cleary, or Declan. Like, there was always one of them, and I'm sure you had it on your success. You always felt that there was somebody on your side that was going to do something special at some stage in the game. And I'm assured that the guy beside me that I was marking felt that as well. He felt that they were waiting for the surge. And it nearly always came. That's what I mean. Success is a habit, like, you know. And we had great, but that's the thing. It was the fun that we had. And Eoin Neal had a saying, he said he wanted us to hurl with abandon. And I suppose that was the thing that I see, the only criticism I have of the modern game, in either football or is like, it's too structured. It's too, you know, hurling in particular is a game of spontaneity. It's you know, you look at the game that night, you've done it and you've done it. How did I do that? You don't know how you did it, because you did it instinctively. And that's kind of gone. Like,
See, lads are so fit now, like, if you get a ball, there's 4 lads around you.
Yeah.
I mean, the only way you're going to bring that back, maybe what Bobby's talking about, is make the pitches bigger, or have a 13 aside or something. Do you know, to
More
have
space.
that hurling maybe and all that, like, you know, it's just, if a fella gets a ball now, the worst thing you nearly want now is getting the ball. When you get it, there's 4 lads around you, Shane.
Definitely.
You know, it's really that, like, it's like hurling in a phone box.
You always see that in the first 3 or 4 minutes, particularly with the hurling. When the ball's thrown in, the first 3 or 4 minutes is just constantly.
Mayhem.
Lads, there's no one poking the ball, because everyone's just getting dragged out with losing the ball.
It's now for 73 or 74
that's it.
minutes.
They can keep it up.
So there's less room then for, like, you know, a bit of over the shoulder, a bit of something, no drop shot, a bit of something special.
So you get it now if you try to do something like that, because
Imagine pulling on the ball now.
you're
you get
position is so
finger.
You'd be off.
Yeah, you'd be off.
You'd gone.
And still to this day, you go to the old timer, and I consider myself, and if you go to a match and somebody comes out and pulls first time the ball, straight away, isn't that brilliant?
Yeah, you get lift.
But you've given away possession. It's wrong. Like.
So that's why Seamus' goal was probably so good. Like, the ball came over the top and it bounced and you met it on the money. Like. Usually a lad now would probably take that, get it up, and next
Back around,
defender would be in.
Percentages, get back to a better position.
Well, and if Nicky was here and he was asked what's his best goal, I guarantee you it was the goal he scored against Antrim. Aidan hit in a long ball, he met it on the half bounce and he blew the net out of it. Like, that's that kind of pump that makes the game what it is, like, you know.
And talking about those days, when you came into the panel in 80,
80, yeah.
what was the pre-season?
There was no pre-season. Like, this was the thing. Like, you know, the pre-season, lads. You said that you played 2 games before Christmas, 4 league games after Christmas, and like the first year I went onto the team, the panel was cut and I got dropped. And I got dropped without playing any game, any challenge. There was supposed to be an A plus against B, and the morning of the game it snowed, and the game didn't take place. And I didn't even get a phone call from Barrett or anybody. I saw it off Goulbara had the panel, the selection panel for the forthcoming 80 championship was selected, and I was dropped, and John Stone was on. So that was how I heard that I was dropped. Like.
Read it off the paper.
Read it off the paper, yeah. But you didn't ask any questions. You said all you did was you dusted yourself down and you went again. I was only a young fella, like, it didn't matter. But the pre-season, me arse, like, no, it was.
The facilities now and everything is different. Like, I'm assuming, like, you're probably, like, in your last couple of years, you're probably getting the training, activation, all this kind of stuff. Like, how important is that? Because everyone's doing it.
Yeah, it is hugely important now as well, because the demands on your body are actually just phenomenal now. Like I started with Tip in 2008, and that was the first year. I don't think he had been introduced to the gym before that, because Cian O'Neill came in and he took it to a level at that time that was kind of unheard of, I'd say, all over the country. He brought the science behind it all, like. But it's gone now to a stage where if you're training at 7:30, you're now late at 6:20.
Yeah, Jesus.
So that's where it's at.
What are you
isn't it?
doing for the hour?
You're out, you're doing band work, you're getting a bit of physio, you know, you're tapping into anything that's available just to try and get
right,
try and keep yourself right, because like you're stressing the body for 90 minutes on a Tuesday night, you're doing a gym on a Wednesday night after doing a gym on a Monday as well, and you're trying to be fresh or whatever for a training on Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
So like this all has to be done, and even the one night a week you're at home, you're expected to be stretching or doing
Fucking
something
foam
else,
rolling
you know.
and-
Yeah. So like, it's just it is gone to a new level, like, and it's hard to know, like, I don't know how it can go any further than where it's at now, to be honest with you, because it just seems to be professional. Obviously without the
Players
benefits
crave,
out
crave
that,
that now. That's the day you have to provide it.
do,
It's
yeah.
It's gone to club level now as well, which is
100%.
Yeah.
That's
you know,
it. Like, yeah.
you know,
Well, that's
it's-
the whole point of this, lads. The the Winahouse competition. That like, if Tip can't keep up with the facilities, you'll never keep up on the pitch.
It's 100% right. Yeah. You just say you have to go with the times, like, you know, it's as simple as that. And like, I know they might talk about cost, like, but I'd replace that word with investment, and that's what it is. So you're investing in the future, investing in the players, the current players. But even for parents now, say, if you're dropping in your child to an academy under 13, 14, 15, you probably now want facilities there that you can take out your laptop, go inside, sit down, have a coffee, do some work. Like, you kind of have to think of the bigger picture. You have to think of everyone involved there now, because it's gone to the extreme now where it's not just the player. You kind of have to look after everybody, like, do you know what I mean? Because like, the meeting point in Tipperary is Thurles. Like, Tip is such a big county, we'll say. Some people could be travelling for what, 50 minutes?
Yeah.
Do you know, so like, there's a bigger picture here, and I think, like, that's what we're all here to
I think
support.
when I started out in minor football in '95. We trained at Clonmore. Yeah. So you met in Clonmel at 5:30. Got a bus to Cahir to Cashel. I said it was the next day we got there. You know.
We trained in my Rovers.
Right.
So when I was living in Rosscrea,
Just an hour, is it?
I'd have to leave school
Yeah.
before probably get rid of the last class, maybe halfway through. Then get picked up. I'd have to get my mother bring me Clock Jordan, and I get picked up Clock Jordan and brought to my Rovers. Trained then for probably 2 hours.
So you get back at 11:30.
Get half a sandwich and an apple back into Cairn, back home. At 10 to
So we were dependent on probably the manager's club to give you the field.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Clonmore, Eamon Owens is our manager at Clonmore. So that was 5:30, get home at 11:30. And minor hurling was Paddy Butler was there, and Dinny Cal, we trained in the rag. So that was pre-Morris Park.
Yeah.
And then obviously Morris Park came, so that was heaven when that,
Yeah, the
when that
difference
came
in
along.
legs.
Different because you had just 2 fields and you had different county teams training, and there was a massive buzz there. And obviously the third pitch came, which now is not enough to cater for what's going on. So
it's not enough, no.
unless we do invest in that, it's
You haven't even mentioned an all-weather pitch there.
That's it.
which
Yeah.
is-
yeah.
So when you started, was there an all-weather pitch?
No, just same as Declan. There was only the 2 pitches in Dr. Morris.
Morris, yeah.
You know, but like, you see now, like, and if you don't get this right,
Yeah.
the coaches, the selectors, the manager, everyone involved in the background, they'll be questioned by the player, like, because the player now knows the standards that are going on in each different counties, whereas
And the
before
colleges.
you might know what Limerick are at or what Cork are at. Do you know, you didn't know it, so if you didn't know, it didn't bother you. But now, and the Tuesday night, what did you do? Oh, we didn't have a pitch because it was waterlogged. Oh, geez, we trained on an all-weather. And then that, you know, the disgruntlement can happen overnight, like. It can happen maybe in 10 minutes with social media, text message.
You also have strong camogie set up now, strong ladies football set up in Tip.
Yeah.
I know Federer is there and cares there for ladies football, but to facilitate for everyone, you should be able to say, right, ladies football up there tonight and camogie there or whatever, not book your night, same as you said, but you know, who was it that they booked their slots at club level, like, but you know, so there's a massive bigger picture there.
In order to keep producing good players as well, we probably have to get it right now for the younger lads. Like, we've been lucky that we've had success all up along Tipperary and All Irelands and all that. In order to keep producing that, we probably have to invest in it now. Like Owen said, invest in the younger lads as well.
Yeah, like it's under 17 now for the minors, like.
Yeah.
So like, they need proper setups from 14 years of age. Do you know? So like, there has to be a huge investment in getting them. And do you know what it is as well? It's giving them a place where they want to go.
Yeah.
They want to be there, yeah.
They want to be there. So no longer are they going into a cold hall picking up whatever. There's actually a high performance unit, and then it's you know, the pitch is there with it. Then, like, so if you're injured, you can come in, you can actually do work while the session is on.
Yeah.
So there's so many structures that need to be put in place to get the best out of these young players, because they said you have to, if you create it, they'll want to come.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
And also with players, like, we've probably all been around the country in different setups and stuff like that. If you go up to like Derry or a place like that and they have their centre of excellence and you're going, we're Tipperary, like, we should have this as well.
Yeah, but even, sorry Bobby, do you know, even division down the road, like it's all fine being in with the Tipperary Academy, and then it's when the season finishes then and you go back to your club.
Yeah.
Like, some clubs have better standards than other clubs. So if you have a good player in, we'll call it a weaker club, and their committee or their administration is not up to scratch, like, there's no gym programs in place for them, well then he's waiting around for the next 3 or 4 months doing nothing, like.
He's going backwards.
He's going backwards. So we need probably a coordinator of athletic development that looks at all the clubs, goes to all the clubs, right? What's your plan? What's your vision? What's your programs? And if that's not 100%, well, then he needs to get in there and work with them. Like, so there's even a bigger picture than facilities, like, you know, because I think you said you do go back, Bobby.
Yeah, there's not a doubt about it. But
100%.
You know, our team was the proof of it, because there was no supporters club in Tipperary pre-87. Bams was initially set up the supporters club with a crowd of guys in Dublin, and I have no doubt that 87 would never have happened only for the supporters club. It wasn't just the Babs was a genius. He looked after his players, and players respond like then you see when they see that there's, you know, let's face it, like, money is the key. Finance brings success as well. Ability will take you so far. But Johnny, you said, like, we're Tipperary, we shouldn't be looking at, you know, centres of excellence up in Mayo. We should have our own centres of excellence here. And if it costs X, well, then we just have to do it, because, you know, success, you know, ability will bring you so far, but it's that little bit of finance gets it over line, and that attention to detail, and it brings in players, because you see there's so many other sports out there.
Yeah.
These guys, you a guy that's good at football, hurling, the chance there he's probably good at soccer as well, or he's good at rugby. So then
I think we'd say, Jim, we were spoon-fed, like. You know
we
what I
were,
mean?
yeah.
Like, being a member of the Tipperary in Ireland team,
But-
you got everything.
But Owen,
you got it.
and they're fair, and you should have been spoon-fed, because I played on teams where we were not spoon-fed, and I saw both sides of the fence. I could write the book on what went on in 81, 82, 83, and 84, and 85, and 86. So I know everything about what it was not to be spoon-fed, and then discover that this guy or this committee are prepared to actually put you on a plane and bring you to you know, Lanzarote or wherever we went to, like some of the best team bonding.
Or even London for treatment, like, if somebody a player needed it.
I broke my leg in 84. I had to get I had to tumble a lift to get it x-rayed in Nina. Like, I mean, geez, we've come on. That was 84. Like, that'll just tell you how far we've all come. Yeah. But I kind of have a chip in my shoulder about that. I maintain that brilliant players went through the system, but because of a lack of actual finance, what we're probably talking about here today, they didn't actually, like, everybody should have a right, if you're any kind of a player, get to your full potential, no matter what that is, but don't let finance be in the way, like, and finance does help, like.
Yeah, but you even see, like younger people now are being exposed to documentaries on maybe, you know, the IRFU or different things like that. Yeah. So they're seeing a standard, and they're seeing, right, well, we train as much as them. You know, they see, like, GPS is huge, as Owen said earlier on, the stats, like, you know, everyone wants stats coming out your ears now in the dressing room, you know. So all them things cost money. Young lads need to be on protein, they need to have all the, you know, the proper nutrients to develop the way they should as well, and all that help. They need that from an early age now to start their journey, and that needs to be up the whole way along. So, like, the whole thing has gone completely, you know, it's gone a mile up since I started, and I've seen the development of it to a really high level of a stage, like. But, you know, it's going to continue rising, like, and if we don't go with it, like, the gap is just going to.
Well, you get left behind.
You get left behind, like, and
because it can feed back into the clubs as well. You know, if you have top players coming back to clubs, curious guys that are keen back in their club, you know, if the lad's on a form roller or taking a protein drink after it, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? You know, they'll be asking questions.
It rubs off.
It rubs off.
Yeah,
it's contagious.
You're educating the clubs as well by your actions, like, so. I think, we just need to.
And the clubs will benefit from these facilities too.
Yeah, absolutely,
You know,
yeah.
So look, as we're asking everyone to get behind it, don't be shy, Winahouse.ie.
Even Johnny's buying a ticket.
Even I'm buying a ticket. That's it, lads. I got the penknife out. I slashed up in the mattress. I know it's fun. What a ticket, lads. Lads, thanks so much for coming in.
Cheers, mate.
Pleasure.
We'll be lucky if we get out of here without stopping in Foxes, I think.